Hi everyone. We're going to get the personal medicine conference session started. Hopefully you've heard a little bit about personal medicine. It's something we wanted to do for our members living with SMI. Pete and Allison are here. They're from the Pat Deegan and Associates team. They flew in all the way from the East Coast to be with us here today. So they're going to do a mini session on personal medicine, and then we're going to have some breakout work groups. Allison Stiles has been working for Pat Deegan and Associates since 2011. She's worked in the mental health field since 2002 in various direct service roles and holds a master's degree in counseling psychology. Allison's work as a licensed professional counselor, as well as her own lived experience of challenges, feeds forward into her current work with PDA. As the managing partner at PDA, Allison wears many hats. She's worked with the development team to create tools and resources, trains and supports certified personal medicine coaches, and coaches program staff who use the Common Ground Academy and Recovery Library. And then we have Missy Rufo. Missy is PDA's Director of Content and Program Development. Missy has the opportunity to work with customers all around the world, providing coaching, technical assistance, and support. Missy has used Common Ground and Pat's recovery approach in her own work as a psych rehab practitioner for many years and has seen firsthand the impact it has had on providers and service users and amplifying the voice of the user. Thank you.
Hi everyone, it's so good to see you. As Christy mentioned, I'm Allison Stiles. I work for Pat Deegan and Associates, and we are the creators of personal medicine and personal medicine coaching. And Missy and I are just so excited to be here talking with you about our favorite thing that we do for Pat Deegan, which is personal medicine. Just so that you're aware, we've been partnering with Mercy Care over the past, close to 2 years now, to bring personal medicine and personal medicine coaching to the provider network. So we're currently training certified personal medicine coaches and trainers and rehab specialists in the approach.
Thank you, Allison. Hi everyone, it's so good to be here with you. As Allison said, we've been working really closely with Mercy Care. And yesterday we did 2 workshops with members, which were really well attended, and folks were super engaged and super excited about personal medicine. They got to explore and find some personal medicine cards, which you all are going to get to do as well today. So it's going to be an interactive workshop. But we're really excited to be here, and as I said, to help Mercy Care continue to spread personal medicine throughout the network. So we're going to start off with a little interaction. So we'll have a good QR code. If you all have a cell phone, we'd love for you to pull out your phone, open your camera, scan that QR code. And we just want to start out with you sharing what is something you do to feel better, and that "and" is really important, and how it helps you. So give folks a moment to do that, and we're going to go through that. All right, so let's just take a look. Thank you all. So just take a look at a few of them. So traveling with loved ones, breaking dishes and creating art. It helps me relieve stress and anxiety. That's some amazing personal medicine. I'm going to try that. Exercise, yoga, meditation, hiking, being in nature, calling my friends. Music helps me relax and feel empowered. Love it. Exercise, it allows me to clear my mind. I listen to music and meditate. It helps to ground me. Go for a hike. Take my dogs for a walk. Listen to my favorite singer, Alexander James Rodriguez, daily. I enjoy listening to music. It helps relieve some anxiety and puts me in a happy place. Love to spend quality time with family, connection to the natural world, and sleep. Text my friends, yard work and cleaning, conversations with friends, waking up early, working out helps my mental wellness for the day. Dance, talk to friends, pray, read. Each helps me to recenter and reminds me of my purpose. Lovely. Talk to my friend, it helps bring me perspective. Sitting and having a morning cup of coffee. Coffee while everyone is still asleep gives me the quiet time to collect my thoughts and center myself to start my day.
I feel like that's yours.
That's mine. So whoever's out there, love it. Listening to music loud helps me release any emotions I'm feeling, whether they're negative or positive, allows me to feel other people are going through the same issues.
Yeah, so it's really amazing, all of those things that you shared, all of those things that you discovered that you can do to help yourself in a variety of different ways. No one had to tell you, for example, that I think someone said breaking dishes and creating art was helpful. No one had to tell you that. You discovered that on your own. And that's a testament to what we call this inner wisdom, that every single human being on this planet has an inner wisdom. We all do something, every single person does something each and every day that helps us in some way. We just have to name it, bring attention to it, and have intention to do that. And we do actually mean each and every person. We're really serious about this. Because in reality, there's no kind of hard and fast line between the land of the well and the land of the unwell. There's no hard and fast line. Each and every one of us in this room has gone through something. Each and every single one of us, right? Every single one of us knows what it's like to experience pain or challenges and have come out the other side transformed. Because each of us has been wounded in some way. And I want you to think about that. Think of a time in your life when you faced a trauma or a loss or a tragedy. Maybe it was the loss of a child or growing up in an abusive family, growing up with a family member who struggled with addiction, right? Maybe it's being diagnosed with cancer. Maybe it's being assaulted. Maybe it was being neglected. Maybe at one time or another, your world seemed to come crashing down around you. Maybe you considered giving up, throwing in the towel. Maybe there were times when you didn't feel particularly strong or heroic, when you felt wounded and tired and weary. Yet somehow, over time, we passed through this woundedness. Rather than being destroyed by that wound, we passed through and came out the other side. Through this journey, whatever it was, many of us discovered that deep desire, that deep calling to help others, to serve others, to support others. In reality, those of us who are in the helping profession, if we are good and effective at what we do, we are wounded healers, each and every one of us. And of course, through that time in our life, whatever it was, we discovered those things to help us, right? We discovered things that helped and that supported us in passing through that woundedness. That is the power of personal medicine. And so, again, all of those examples that you shared are examples of personal medicine. And so maybe it's a good idea to define what personal medicine is. So personal medicine is the things that we do to get well and stay well. Personal medicines are actions, they are activities, they are what we do. Not what we take, it's not a feeling or a state of being, it's what we do. Personal medicine is also always self-prescribed. We cannot tell other people what their personal medicine is, just like no one can tell us what our personal medicine is. Personal medicine is self-prescribed. It comes from within us. We also say that personal medicine is medicine. We're very intentional in this too. Medicine can be what we do. We know that from a very famous research that came out that exercise is a powerful antidepressant, right? Exercise changes our biochemistry, releases endorphins. Laughter changes our biochemistry. Love changes our biochemistry. So personal medicine is medicine. It's medicine that we do. And personal medicine is just another tool that we can use to support people. We can use it for ourselves and we can support other people. It's not a replacement for pill medicine. It's not a replacement for therapy, for employment services, for peer support. It's simply another tool, a wonderful tool that we can use to support people. So personal medicine can be the really big things in life that give us meaning and purpose. This is one of my favorite examples of personal medicine. Hiking with my dog helps boost my mood because my dog is a goofball, and it lowers my blood pressure because we run around so much. Personal medicine can also be the smaller things in life, like tending to my plants because it helps me focus, it brings me joy to see the things that I nurture, thrive, and grow. And so I want to share some of my personal medicine. This is my family, my husband. I have an almost 9-year-old daughter and 2 5-year-old twin girls. And it is just as chaotic as that sounds. They are lovely, but spending time with them and being very intentional that we put away the devices and we just kind of connect with each other helps me feel loved, helps me feel connected to my family. And they're all pretty funny, so that helps too. I also take a walk almost every day in the park across the street. That's actually my shadow in the park. Because walking in the park when I put my headphones in is really powerful anti-anxiety medication. And then walking in the woods with my kids also helps me feel connected to nature and something bigger than myself.
Thank you. Yeah, so this is some of my personal medicine. So I have a 16-year-old daughter, and my husband there in that first picture, who are the light of my life. My 16-year-old daughter, this is her junior prom. She designed and made that dress. So being able to watch her grow and explore her own creativity is really powerful personal medicine for me. It helps me to recognize that I am a good mom and that I've helped to nurture that growth in her. And my husband is just fantastic and amazing. That next one is a funny story. Has any Ham fans here? Hamilton? Thanks, Jose. Okay, so I discovered quite by accident that listening to the soundtrack from Hamilton really helped me when I was upset. And actually, my husband helped point this out to me. We are actually away for a weekend, and some stressful things happened with my next personal medicine, my dog, and I was very anxious and I couldn't calm down, I couldn't relax, and he knew that I enjoyed Hamilton, so he put it on in the truck, and I immediately felt my anxiety just go, and I was like, it was such powerful, like PRN, anti-anxiety medication for me at that time. So he bought me these 3 Funko Pops to keep on my desk. So I have Hamilton, King George, and Aaron Burr. Aaron Burr is my favorite. And they sit there on my desk, and they are a powerful reminder to me, because when I'm in the throes of my anxiety, it's very hard for me to sometimes remember what personal medicine is to use it. So my husband's so wonderful, he bought me those to remind me. And he will also run into my office freaking out if he hears Hamilton playing. And then the next one is my 2 dogs, who could be no more different than they appear. I have a 15-year-old one-eyed pug who can't see or hear, and then I have a 2-year-old German Shepherd who is the cause of a lot of my anxiety. But I adore her and I love her. And then that last one is her and I take walks in the park every day, usually at lunchtime, to get us out of the house and to connect with one another and to get some exercise. But then we've had to recently adjust, because in Pennsylvania it's warm in the afternoon, not as warm as Arizona. But we take walks in the morning now, and we enjoy our time exploring nature and exploring the park together. So that's some of my personal medicine. So I want to talk a little bit about, we've been talking about training coaches throughout the network, and maybe you've heard, or maybe some of you, anybody here a certified personal medicine coach yet? Yay!
I just got certified.
Congratulations! Personal medicine coaching was born right before the pandemic. Allison and I and Pat and Deborah were in Cape Cod, having like our annual face-to-face, and that's where personal medicine coaching was born, and it's grown a lot over that time. But we have at this point trained close to 700 coaches around the world, which is pretty phenomenal considering we're a really small company. There's like 6 of us. But thanks to partners like Mercy Care, who have invested in training coaches to help to spread that message, we're just going to be more grateful or not. One of the tools that we use in certified personal medicine coaching is personal medicine cards. And we have 16 categories. We have everything from anger, anxious feelings, down to worry, oppression, troublesome beliefs. Because as I said, these are all human experiences, human challenges. It's not connected to a diagnosis. It's something that we all may experience for different reasons in our lives. So we've developed these tools, these cards. Within each category, there's anywhere from 15 to 20, 25 cards of strategies from the lived experience, right? So people who have experienced oppression created these cards as ways to support them in going through that challenge of oppression. They don't come from a textbook, they don't come from literature, they don't come from DBT techniques or CBT techniques, they come from lived experience. We also have blank cards so that folks can develop their own personal medicine strategy. Like, I'm going to steal the breaking of the dishes as a personal medicine strategy. I think that's going to end up on a card. But so this is an example of one of our cards for anxious feelings. So in real life, it's a piece of paper that you can actually fold. That's why there's a dotted line on it. So the front or the left side of the card has a generic strategy of something that worked for somebody who experiences anxious feelings. So it says refocus on things I can control. When we feel anxious, we often worry about things that are out of our control. Refocusing on what we can control in a situation helps us to feel less anxious. And on the back of the card are some prompts or some ideas that you can use then to help you to personalize that strategy for your own life, right? So when I'm feeling anxious about something I have no control over, I can say to myself, and then there's also an opportunity to say, well, I can also refocus my breathing. I can refocus on how I can get support in that situation. So it gives some ideas for you to test out before it then becomes your personal medicine. So an example of personal medicine I'll go through. This is my friend Stephen. And Stephen has experienced negative thinking throughout his life, but it has ramped up considerably when he went to college. Stephen was from a rural farming community, and he was concerned that his small town education was no match for the education of other students in his classes. It seemed like once he got on campus, those floodgates of negativity just really opened up. He began to doubt himself and his ability to do his college work. And the more that he doubted himself, the more insecure he became. He'd say things to himself like, I'm a stupid hick, I gotta go back to where I came from. And these were just some of the negative thoughts that were causing him to lose faith in himself. So he began to skip classes, saying things, well, I'm never gonna be able to pass these courses. But eventually started working with a personal medicine coach who was able to introduce him to some of the cards for negative thinking. So they sat down, they went through the cards, and Stephen was drawn to this card. On the front of the card it says, shrink my inner critic down to size. You can't do math, you're a loser. Most of us have an inner critic that fuels our negative thinking. Imagining our inner critic as something small or silly can be helpful. And Pat actually really loves this card. So Stephen, was talking with, he really liked it, he was drawn to it. And people, as we said, in personal medicine cards, you can do what you want, right? So some people might write down what that looks like, some people might take a picture of what that looks like. Stephen chose to draw a stick figure named Mr. Cranky Pants. So he had this on his card. And he's not a paper person. Pat Deegan is a paper person. Anybody heard her presentation yesterday? She's she has cards everywhere. But so she loves to actually draw on her cards and keep them with her. But for Stephen, he did not think it was realistic for him to carry a card around. He didn't want to get messed up. So he took a picture of his card with Mr. Cranky Pants. And every time that he was experiencing some of those negative thoughts coming into his head, he'd pull out his phone, look at Mr. Cranky Pants, and laugh. It helped him to bring him back into the present, to help him to dissipate some of those negative thinking, negative thoughts, and just said, well, Mr. Cranky Pants makes me laugh, which helps me to find my power over negative thoughts. So just an example of how somebody personalized a negative thinking card.
So again, those personal medicine cards are just one tool that our personal medicine coaches learn about as a way to support people in getting in touch with that inner wisdom. There's a variety of different tools, but this is just one thing. And so we want to give you an opportunity to explore some cards for yourself. So we want you to discover some new personal medicine. So there are 6 tables right here in the front, these 6 tables right here, with common challenges that any of us might face in our lives or our recovery. So we have a table for anger, anxious feelings, feeling depressed, grief, negative thinking, and the one all the way at the end is sleep. We want you to head to the table of a challenge that you're personally experiencing or that you're interested in, and we want you to go through the cards. We want you to review the cards, check them out, and even take 1 or 2 that you might find helpful or that you want to try out on your own when we leave you today. And there are certified personal medicine coaches at the table to support you, to answer any questions that you might have. And then Missy and I will also be helping too. So yeah, come on up, start that exploration. Got about a half hour to look through the cards. Yeah, so the anxious feelings cards can be really helpful. I use those all the time, and so when we're feeling anxious, this is one of the things I love about personal medicine, is that it really is bi-directional. It's not just for people with a mental health diagnosis, people receiving services. It's for us, it's for providers, it's for when people start to tap into that inner wisdom and discover the things that they can do to help themselves, they get energized, they get active, they get engaged. So it really does help. Did someone over here have a?
It was me. I like the one that says put away worries until the morning.
Put away worries until the morning, one of the sleep cards, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And so one of the tricks with that one is really personalizing that. What does that mean, or what does putting away those worries look like? Does that mean I keep a journal next to my bed and I write down the worries and close it and put a rock on top of my journal so I don't look at it? And then in the morning I can take it and look at that. So that personalization process is really important. What does that look like for you?
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Yeah, so we talk about in personal medicine coaching that it's not necessarily a replacement.
And I just want to say, because being a naturopath, we look at things a lot differently than conventional tracks. So what I'm asking is, are you seeing your patients or the people that are actively using the personal medicine growing into a different states of being that require less medication maybe?
Sure, there's definitely anecdotes of people who have been able to go through the deprescribing process and come off of medications. There's lots of people who stay on psychiatric medicines and continue to use personal medicine as a complement. It's really individualized, which is what makes personal medicine so personal,
That's what I want to see.
that it's a very individualized approach. We study one person at a time. If it's working, whatever it is for that one person, perfect. All right, well, thank you so much, everyone, for your time and your exploration. We hope that you found something that will be helpful for you personally, and thank you for the work that you do. Use your personal medicine. Thanks, everyone.